everyone. It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. How are you guys? How is everyone's Saturday afternoon? I have been trying all afternoon to figure out what's going on YouTube. It is being weird today, but I thought we have not checked in with the Giudices, and the current season of The Real Housewives of New Jersey is airing on Bravo. In this past week on the show, they learned that Joe Giudice's appeal had been rejected and that he was not likely going to be able to stay within the United States following the 4-year sentence that he had received for a conviction related to fraud from 2014, mortgage and wire fraud scheme that he ran along with his wife, Teresa. Because Joe had never, for whatever reason, become a United States citizen, as a part of his conviction, the judge in his case actually ordered that he be deported outside of the United States. And now he was born in Italy, and he has now since returned to Italy because he can't, the courts here are like, you're done. Well, the family is continuing to fight, and recently in November, Teresa and the girls visited Joe and reunited with him following his release from ICE detention. He is said to be living in a home with his mother and potentially some other relatives. He seems to have a lot of family that still is in this area. When the girls were there back in November, everything looked pretty hunky-dory between Joe and the girls, although photos of Joe and Teresa appeared rather icy on Instagram. Neither one of them posted any photos of the two of them together. All of the photos of the family were of either Joe with the girls, Teresa with the girls, or all of them with the girls with Joe and Teresa on either side. Since then, since her return, Teresa's been pretty elusive about what's going to happen in their marriage. She had said on a sit down with Andy Cohen earlier this fall when he was released that she wasn't sure that the marriage was going to stay intact. She wasn't sure that she wanted to stay married if he were to be deported. She also said that she wasn't sure that if she was in love with him. It had been quite some time since they'd been together. Both of them had changed. Teresa, for her part, has become a lot more independent. She has been taking care of herself, taking care of her daughters, and she's been trying to do the best that she can. She also admitted in the interview with Andy Cohen that she blames him for what he did and how it affected her, because while she was incarcerated, her mother was very sick, and she ended up losing a 1.5 years with her mother that she could have been spending with her had she not gotten into the mess with Joe. So there's definitely some animosity. They talked about how she didn't have those sort of feelings anymore. And when she returned from Italy, she said that she still really hadn't had that spark, but it was still up in the air in terms of what they were going to do with their marriage. However, that hasn't stopped either one of them from moving forward in life, right? They are not going to stay stagnant, obviously. Life just moves forward no matter no matter what's going on in relationships. And so Teresa has been posting on Instagram with the girls. She has been talking she's been on interviews related to the show. She's been posting going out with friends. And Joe, for his part, seems to be trying to establish a life in Italy. He has recently been touring a fishing industry, like a fish warehouse where people where they process fish that comes in. And apparently he is interested in potentially starting a fish distribution company of his own, like a import-export type thing. So I'll show you what I got here from Instagram. So here is, last night, Teresa took her daughter, Adriana, and some of her friends to the iHeartRadio concert in New York. She also posted with a friend here at the same event. They went to a candy facility, the Sugar Factory, in the meatpacking district yesterday with the girls. She was at the Z100 New York iHeartRadio concert with her youngest daughter. Earlier today, she posted just photos from New York. It appears as though she took her daughter and her friends for a weekend in the city. There she is with her daughter. They were at Jingle Ball 2019. I'm sorry, not iHeartRadio. Jingle Ball 2019. So she's also been sharing photos with friends, extending them a happy birthday, just showing pictures of her daughters, having nights out with girlfriends, and sharing cute photos of Adriana with their dog Bella. And then on Joe's end, he has shared a lot of videos and photos. He's been working out. He's been touring different places. And then he shared this post earlier today as life is too short to be angry. Life is too short to be resentful. Life is too short to hold on to the past. Life is too short not to love. Life is too short not to be happy. Life is too short not to forgive. Life is too short not to live our lives the way we want it. Love life. Appreciate the people in it. Enjoy the present. Seize the moment. Life is worth living. So let's live. Which I don't know if that's an indication that he is ready to move on. I don't know. But then he's also posting photos with his brother with a cigar saying enjoying life. This was him along with some of his friends touring a fish packing plant where they purchased a bunch of different fish, and they said, so he was sharing some of the things that they made with the fish that they saw, and this is what an amazing meal looks like in the vacuum packed, amazing. He said, this is a vacuum packed meal, so fresh and delicious. Can't believe in 3 minutes I heat this up. Eats amazing. This is how I hit it in the morning, again at a fish packing plant. He wrote, look of work manually, even with all the technology of today. Shrimp that was prepared delicious. And then he also attended a christening, and then he was with a friend, Lisa, the Queen of Italia. So happy to be here with her and her family. So people were wondering if he was actually working in the fish packing plant, and according to The Sun, he isn't working in the factory. He is touring factories, and he wants to get started in the import-export business, especially with seafood. A source told The Sun that he has always wanted to get into this business before all of the legal problems. It's a passing of his. He loves food, obviously, so it would be perfect for him. When asked if there were any concrete plans yet, they said no specific job is lined up. He's still in the exploratory stages. So he is appearing to be looking for a way to make income while he is living in Italy. And then what is going to happen for the holidays? Well, apparently the girls are going to travel. So the 4 girls are going to go travel to Italy to visit their father over Christmas. But Teresa is not going to be going with her husband to see her husband over the holidays. She is apparently going to stay back in New Jersey due to her father. If you remember, he was recently hospitalized shortly after she returned from Italy, and he is still dealing with some health-related issues, and she also has current work engagements, likely related to the fact that the current season of Real Housewives of New Jersey is airing on Bravo. During a sit-down behind the sea on the Daily Dish, Teresa talked about, which is on Bravo TV, talked about how the girls are doing since everything has been going on with their father. They said that she said initially when they learned that the appeal had been denied, they were devastated. She said that Melania took it really, really hard. And she had a hard time processing it. She said, but since then, Melania has been doing a lot of self-discovery. She said that Melania has lost 30 pounds. She's doing things to manage her depression and taking better care of herself. And she said, while her girls obviously would like to be with their father, they sort of understand that this is where it's at and that they're currently still in the process of going through the appeals. Teresa did say that they're in the 3rd Circuit of appeals courts, I believe. And she said in the interview on the Daily Dish that this likely won't be complete for another year, so there won't be a final decision in terms of what happens with Joe until sometime next year. So that's a long time for a family to wait in limbo, a long time for the girls. And when he was initially deported, the indication from most legal experts was that it's pretty unlikely at this point in time that he would ever be able to return, because he could have waited in ICE detention while everything played out. But the fact that he willingly left, legal experts that were interviewed said that it's unlikely that he would be granted an appeal at this point because he has already left the country. So if everything stays in place, it could be another 10 years before Joe is able to step foot in the United States. That's crazy. My one question in all of this, and I've never understood why, and there's never been a clear answer, is the fact that his brother, his siblings, his mother, his parents, everyone in the family was able to obtain citizenship, it's always sort of been this like question mark of like why he didn't do it. And when Andy Cohen asked him that same question, it was like he didn't even have an answer. And I was like, I don't get it. Why, if everyone else has citizenship, like, why wouldn't you do that? Like, it just seems like, I know it can happen. I know it's not uncommon, especially when kids come over here as babies. He was the youngest of all of the kids that came over from the family. And apparently the parents got citizenship for all the other kids but Joe. It's just so bizarre to me. He knew he didn't have citizenship because he used his brother's ID at one point and he got caught with it. He had trouble with passports. There was a lot of issues that related to his citizenship, which to me, he just said like he just never got around to it. And then he actually blamed Teresa for dropping the ball on it. It just seems like they could have just gone through the steps and all of this could have been completely avoided. So for now, this is where they're at. I don't know if it's their, their faith or their upbringing that is preventing them from making the decision. Perhaps they don't want to make a decision until the appeals are completely through. It seems as though living in limbo doesn't seem to be bothering either one of them. Joe has been posting videos of, going out, enjoying food, working out. And Teresa doesn't seem too bothered as well. So perhaps maybe living separately isn't a bad thing for these two. Whatever is going on, the real thing is that you just want them to find happiness. You want the girls to find happiness. And we would hope that at some point the family can get a resolution for this. So tell me what your thoughts are. Are you surprised that Teresa isn't going to go visit him over Christmas? Are you surprised that they both seem to be sort of living and doing fine? Do you think they're going to reconcile, or do you think this is going to end up in a divorce? I would love to hear your comments below. Before you leave, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and catch me on Twitter at WOACB official, or on Facebook at facebook.com/withoutacrystalball, or on Instagram at withoutacrystalball. All right, you guys, I'll be back in a little while. Bye.